All right, hot take of the day. I personally believe that these two right here should be in the Hall of Fame. Now, before you start getting on my ass and be like, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know ball, well, let me explain why. These two quarterbacks right here changed the game up, simply. Do you personally want a person that's not a dual threat on your team in today's day and age? You probably don't. The best quarterbacks in the league, in today's league, are dual threats. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, all those players can run the ball as well. And that's probably not as convincing to you. But you gotta give them that credit with that fact right there. They changed the game up. Because before then, this type of quarterback archetype was not even thought about. Now, you probably bring up stats and bring up how they don't have as many passing yards as people that you may believe belong in the Hall of Fame or touchdowns. Maybe had too many turnovers or whatever. That's fine. But the reason why y'all say that is because like we hold quarterbacks to such a high standard now. Because of the likes of Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? Guys that throw for 4,000, 5,000 passing yards a year, 30 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns, that's become the norm. Well, not too many interceptions, which sucks for them because like now they gotta meet this criteria. But if you look back at quarterbacks that were not in the past 2 decades and you look at the first few quarterbacks that made it to the Hall of Fame, their accolades look better on paper in my opinion. You go look at Dan Fouts, Bob Greasy, Joe fucking Namath, oh my god, Sonny Jurgensen, Ken Stabler. Quarterbacks like that was throwing for like 25, 30 interceptions a fucking year and had like 50% completion percentage. And you may say, oh, that's a different time. But does it fucking matter? They're still Hall of Famers. You probably still consider them Hall of Famers, right? If these two were in that type of era, we'll be looking at them completely different. And he an MVP. You can't take that shit away from them. Yeah, they might not win Super Bowls, but shit, they got accolades, bro. How many MVP winners do you know that's not making it to the Hall of Fame? Really think about that shit. These motherfuckers changed the game, and you can't fucking deny that shit. Their impact was second to none. They brought swag and style to the game. And they were good quarterbacks for their time. And they impacted the game throwing the ball and running the ball. But rushing stats don't really get brought up with quarterbacks that much. But I believe that it should, especially in their cases, based off of the type of quarterback that they were. Yeah, they didn't have the most passing yards, but they were running quarterbacks. So can we take their rushing and rushing touchdowns into account? Since everybody in the fucking world is stat warriors now. Yeah, they turn the ball over, but who doesn't? These old heads that vote for people to go into the Hall of Fame, quarterbacks that they was watching was throwing for 25 interceptions a year, so I don't want to hear that excuse. The fact that they're revolutionary, they had impact, and that they were good for what they did specifically, I think that they belong in the Hall of Fame. And it's okay if you don't agree with me, but that's just my hot take of the day. Shout out to these two. They're one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, man. And get them in the Hall of Fame. No matter if it's 10, 20, 30 years from now, bro. Get them in there, bro.